Welcome back to the CryptoWorld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin is still forming this possible bull flag pattern in the short term, while Ethereum is running into key support. But in the short term, the price of ETH is potentially forming a new pattern that we need to pay attention to, which I'll talk more about later in this video, so definitely watch to the end. First of all, just giving you a quick update here on the daily Bitcoin chart. And right now, as I've recorded this video, the price of Bitcoin is still running into this 78.6% Fibonacci level of resistance, which is sitting at approximately 22.7K. And so far, we technically have seen one daily candle close slightly above this resistance. But as I explained in more detail in my last video, we haven't really seen a successful breakout above this resistance, at least as of right now, which means even though the trend on the daily time frame is technically still a bullish trend, obviously in the more shorter term, we are still fighting this resistance as of right now. And of course, the daily Bitcoin RSI has not changed since yesterday. So if you want to know more about this daily RSI and a possible bearish divergence forming here on the daily time frame, then check out my last video on this channel. But anyway, now zooming into the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, and right now, obviously the price of Bitcoin is still playing out this bearish divergence as I've been talking about over the last few days. And usually we see these bearish divergences play out in the form of either choppy sideways price action or a slight pullback in the price. And as of right now, obviously since this bearish divergence confirmed a few days ago, we've seen a lot of choppy sideways price action in the price of Bitcoin here in the shorter term. And technically speaking, this bearish divergence here on the 8-hour time frame, which is also visible on the 6-hour time frame, as I spoke about in my last video, this divergence is still technically active because, as we can see here, the 8-hour Bitcoin RSI is still currently forming lower highs below this descending line of resistance. But when we eventually see the RSI break back above this line of resistance right here, then that would be a strong signal on the chart telling us that this bearish divergence is over and we could resume the bullish trend at that point. But at least for now, we are currently in a pause from the bullish trend. So yes, technically speaking, we have not broken the bullish trend as of right now because overall, we're still making higher lows and higher highs. But in the shorter term, we're seeing a pause from the bullish trend due to price running into resistance and of course, this bearish divergence once again. And now if you zoom into the shorter term, looking at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, as I spoke about in my last video as well, technically speaking, the price of Bitcoin is potentially forming a bull flag pattern because as of right now, in this pause from the bullish trend, we're seeing the price of Bitcoin form a descending parallel channel after a bullish move, which is technically a bull flag formation. But in order to activate the bullish price target for this pattern, we need to see a confirmed breakout above this resistance right here, which is currently sitting at around 23.1K. And so while the price of Bitcoin remains below this resistance right here, obviously the technical price target for this pattern does not come into play. It is not yet active. And speaking of that technical price target, once again, if we do end up seeing a confirmed breakout above that resistance, then that would set up a technical price target at approximately $25,000 per Bitcoin. And as for short-term support levels, we do have this support right here sitting at approximately 22.4K to 22.5K. But if we end up seeing a confirmed break back below around 22.4K, then technically that would invalidate this bull flag altogether. And in that case, we would likely see a drop down towards this next area of support, which starts at around 21.3K approximately, with the main support closer to 21,000. So once again, if we see a confirmed break back below around 22.4K, then it's likely we could see $1,000 drop in the price of Bitcoin down to the low $21,000 area. And now if you take a look at the Bitcoin dominance chart here on the weekly time frame, this by the way shows the Bitcoin market cap divided by the total crypto market cap. And right now it's currently sitting at just above 44%, which basically means out of all of the crypto value, out of all of the money in crypto, roughly around 44% of it is currently sitting in Bitcoin alone. And so basically, if the Bitcoin dominance rises to the upside, that means Bitcoin Bitcoin is technically gaining more market share over the total crypto market. And on the flip side, if the Bitcoin dominance is dropping, that means Bitcoin is losing market share. So the altcoins are actually gaining market share in that example. And obviously right now here on the weekly chart, you can see that over the last 1 to 2 months, the Bitcoin dominance has been on the rise, especially since running into this massive area of support. By the way, this area of support is coming into play in between 39% and around 40%. And in case you're wondering, this area of resistance is coming into play in between around 47% to around 48.5%. And once again, right now, the Bitcoin dominance is at around 44.5%. So pretty much right in between this support and this resistance, which means if the Bitcoin dominance simply repeats history with obviously the dominance rising towards this range of resistance after running into this area of support, then we could end up seeing a continued rise in this Bitcoin dominance for a little while longer, perhaps over the next few weeks as one of the most likely scenarios, which basically means, at least as of right now, it's likely that the Bitcoin price will hold up better than the average altcoin price. And now, obviously, that does not mean Bitcoin is going to outperform every single altcoin, but just on average, it's likely that the overall altcoin market on average, once again, will underperform the Bitcoin price for a little while here in the shorter term, potentially in the coming weeks, because obviously this has been the trend over the last few weeks. Once again, Bitcoin holding up better than most altcoins out there, not every altcoin, but just the average altcoin market once again. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is the daily ETH to US dollar chart. And obviously over the last 1 to 2 days or so, we've seen a further rejection from this important resistance that I've been talking about for a while now on this channel. Once again, this resistance coming into play in between 1650 to 1.7k. And now clearly you can see that the price of ETH has had a bit more of a rejection than the price of Bitcoin over the last 1 day. And once again, that's due to the Bitcoin dominance rising, showing that Bitcoin, at least as of right now, is holding up better than most of the altcoin market on average. But anyway, getting back to the Ethereum chart, and right now, once again, we're seeing that rejection, but we're currently running into key support, because if you're looking at the Fibonacci retracement levels from this swing low to this swing high, we have the 23.6% Fibonacci level sitting at around 1510 to 1520 approximately, acting as support. But if we end up seeing a confirmed break back below around 1.5k, then the next support levels to the downside are sitting at around 1420, around 1340, and the golden pocket at around 1270. And so once again, these are the key levels of support here on the daily time frame that I'm currently paying attention to, with the imminent support at around 1510. And now, technically speaking, despite the recent rejection from this resistance, as of right now, the price of ETH is still forming higher lows and higher highs. So technically, we are still in a bullish trend formation. But obviously, as I've been warning over the last few days, just in the shorter term, we do have an active bearish divergence here on the 8-hour chart, which is also visible on the 6-hour chart. And right now, this is still actively playing out. And once again, a bearish divergence means reduced bullish momentum, and usually plays out in the form of either choppy sideways price action or a slight pullback in the price. And that's pretty much exactly what we have seen since this bearish divergence confirmed a few days ago. And in case you're wondering, it's likely this bearish divergence will continue to play out over the next 1 to 2 days. And something to look out for to potentially signal the end of this bearish divergence is a confirmed break in the RSI back above this descending line of resistance, which is currently sitting at around 63 in the RSI on the 8-hour time frame, with the RSI itself sitting at around 44. So obviously the RSI has a long way to go before actually breaking back above this resistance, but when that eventually happens, then once again, that would be a strong signal on the chart telling us that this bearish divergence is over. But considering it has not happened right now, this means this bearish divergence is technically still in play. But like I said, the price of ETH is running into some shorter term support based on this Fibonacci level, and also the volume profile indicator showing support right here. But if we end up seeing a bounce from this level of support right here, it might not necessarily be good news, because if you zoom into the the 4-hour time frame, the price of ETH is potentially forming a head and shoulders pattern, which is technically a bearish pattern. Because so far, as you can see, we have already confirmed a left shoulder, a head, and potentially about to form a right shoulder if we see a bounce from this short-term level of support. But currently, this head and shoulders pattern is not yet confirmed because we haven't even completed that right shoulder as of right now. And even in that case, even if we do see this bounce and form the right shoulder, we would then need to see a confirmed break below this neckline at around 1510 approximately in order to confirm this head and shoulders pattern, which would set up a technical price target to the downside, considering this is a bearish pattern. And so this is just something to be aware of that's potentially forming right now on the 4-hour time frame for the price of ETH, especially if we see a bounce over the next 1 to 2 days. But if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways, then make sure to check out these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is either bullish or bearish, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.